Hi, and welcome to this episode of Nomifactory, more specifically, Nomifactory GTCEu. It is a mod pack that I really like. It's based around Gregtech, which is a phenomenal mod, and I think that I've played it before, but I think that I couldn't really get any motivation, but I'm gonna try it again, and I think that now I'm just gonna record it because I think sharing it might be interesting. Some people might like it, who knows? So this is recorded in post because my intro really sucked. So yeah, enjoy. So I already selected the lost cities. Okay, so there we are. I'm just gonna grab some wood really quickly. So let's start. I kind of forgot about all of this. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just set a base somewhere on the tallest tower, so we can build our base out of there, so we can have cobblestone platforms. That's a good idea, I think. And then I'm going to try to get a diamond furnace, not obsidian. I don't know, I just don't really think I need that yet. But diamond is very handy because it has a lot of slots. You'll see. Anyways, so after we got the furnaces, I think I'm just going to get some basic materials, and then I think, well, we're going to actually start this absolute, well, it's not New Horizons, but it's not the smallest pack, I think. Also, I'm using some texture packs. For example, this is 1 to 12, but I'm using the newer textures. I think they're a lot better. If you're familiar with Gregtech, you will probably see that it's some different textures. And oh well, the snow is not very good. Maybe I'm going to pick another place. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
So guys, we did it. We reached 250,000 subscribers.
Probably be a good idea to pick that building. Take some sugarcane right here. We will be needing that for our primitive power generation. So I'm just gonna put a waypoint here. And that's really all for now. Maybe I can put some trees right here, so I can get some more wood. And we did not get any saplings, I believe. Well, that's alright. Let's dump everything in here. Alright, so I'm just gonna eat a little bit of this, and then I'm going to try to find some loot because I will need a sword. Come all the way back here again. Oh no. Yeah, alright, well, my fate is sealed. We even have one spare string. Alright, well, now we have made this our spawn point effectively, so I'm not afraid of dying anymore. Maybe we can try to do a heist with these skeletons. There it is. Well, if only we could reach it, of course. There. So let's start with iron ore, if we can find it at least. Here. Alright, after some assassination attempts from some undead looking mobs, we have got ourselves 3 stacks of iron ore, some pyrite, that's this one, some chalcopyrite, copper, and we also found ourselves a little bit of coal. So let's get a little furnace going here. I'm not gonna make multiple, but that's fine. And since you can't just find coal like regularly, we have to actually kickstart this with a single wooden plank, and it will smelt some coal for us. But we don't want a lot of coal, because we will need iron so we can actually make a way faster iron furnace. So we can also upgrade that to, like I've shown you before, you have silver furnace all the way up to obsidian, but we're going for the diamond one right now. a diamond furnace it is. And with this many slots we can, well, we can smelt quite a lot of things, you know. Alright, let's start processing some of this. Meanwhile, I'm going to look for some tin, because we still need to have a decent amount of tin. Two tin ingots per ore, which is quite generous, if I'm quite honest. But further, we've also got diatomite and some scrumptious asbestos, which, well, you can't actually make cool roofs and lung cancer with it, but instead you can make some dust, which you can get, well, magnesium, silicon, and some other materials from, which can be quite useful at times, at least in the early game. Well, now we have actually got our materials to properly start this back. So let's see. We need 12 iron and 12 wrought iron. And all the furnace quests have also been done, since we upgraded all the way from stone through diamond. Let's get a little bit more of these extensions going, so we can have a little bit of a bigger platform. Alright, so now we have another chunk. Start by making our basic tools, which are a hammer, a file, a saw, a wrench, a screwdriver, wire cutter, and an iron mortar. Actually, we might want to make a drawer so we can put some cobblestone in there rather than just cluttering our chests. There we go. I think that's all the tools. There we go. Let's claim this, and let's claim all the rest as well. We already got some extra quests, and I think some extra side projects would be a good idea to get a batch crafter so we can organize our tools, and a vein mining axe so we can get a better way to mine these trees, so we don't actually have to cut every individual block, but just rather cut the whole tree. So there we have it, our crafting station, and as you can see it has a little inventory as well as slots to put our tools in. Well, gathering materials cost a lot of time, so I will now log off, but I will continue making. We'll continue this video tomorrow. So yeah. See you. Well, actually, in a few seconds, because you will not even notice that I was gone. Alright, so I'm back where I left off, and hopefully I can be a little more outspoken since I don't have any chance of waking anybody up. I'm just remembering what I was going to do right now, but I think it was to get started with the primitive setting up the primitive blast furnace. If I'm correct, we will need somewhere around, I think it's 18 clay, which is not a lot actually. I think we're going to get some clay then. And maybe it's also a good idea to get some buckets so we can deploy a little water stream here so we can swim up and down. Right, here's a little bit of clay. Let's start digging. Let's turn this into bricks already. Alright, so now we have our bricks and our clay dust. So let's combine that. Some fire clay dust, which we can turn into bricks again. This will be taking a while, so while this is busy, I think I'm going to try to find some more copper. And there we go, 36 fire clay bricks. Fire bricks, my bad. Alright, so there we go. We have our blast furnace. So let's start maybe smelting a stack of steel. I think that would be a good idea. Get some steel production going. This will take a long time to get processed, but we'll just do it in the background so we don't have a problem with that. We always have a steady supply of steel. I think the next thing we should do is either get some snad or maybe get a little farm going. Alright, so as we can see we have like around 20 steel. Now let's plant our rice seeds here. Actually, let's get an infinite water source first. Okay, so let's just make this little section here so we can put our water down. And there we go. Let's craft some fluid transportation. We will need some of this. And it was a good idea of bringing some of this with us. And here we are. Got our another batch of steel. And let's start to set up. Maybe let's get some snad first. And there we go. there we have it. Some misspelled sand. We will be getting some more soon, but for now this will be sufficient, I think. We will be needing this, so let's do that. And there we go. Another quest done. The next part will be getting some of the more advanced pieces. Let's start with this first, because this is the most expensive out of all of the recipes. Alright, we have 2 vacuum tubes, and that is 1 out of all these quests done. Let's make some resistors. Maybe actually let's craft some of this next. And there we go, we have our circuit boards. Now finally we need some resistors. So let's craft some of those as well. And this is why we needed to get some paper first, some sugarcane, because we will be needing that for this recipe. And there we go, another quest completed. Now, before we can actually make this, we will need some of these cables. And for that, we will be needing rubber sheets. So let's make some of those as well. And maybe we even have some, yes, we have some left. And there we have our 12 cables. So, now that this quest tree is done, we can get ourselves some of this, an electronic circuit. And for that we will still be needing a steel plate, so let's make that first. And now we should be able to craft ourselves an electronic circuit. Let's get this so the quest can detect that. And there we have it. Our first electronic circuit. We will be getting a steam dynamo next, so let's get to crafting that. There we have it, our steam dynamo all set up. Now the last thing we need is some of this conductive iron energy conduit, and luckily we still have some of these wires from the last quest, so we can, if we have some conduit binders, which we do, then we can get ourselves some energy conduits. There we go. Now this is going to be used to convert the FE, forge energy, or RF, redstone flux, from most of our mods that are in this mod pack, to EU, the energy units from Gregtech. So that will be a vital part of our energy production. We can technically produce energy from Gregtech itself, but that's a lot more complicated. So we'll just stick to the thermal expansion stuff for now, at least. So we can have steam dynamos, and later we can have numismatic dynamos for converting diamonds into energy, which we can generate using deep mob blurring, but we're not there yet. And now we have some machine holes, which we will be using to convert to make practically any LV machine. Here's a ton of them. And we have our converter. So if we wanted to produce power right now, that would not be very useful at all, because we don't really have anything to connect it to. But I think the first thing that we will The first thing that we will make is actually going to be a wire mill, and later we can try making an alloy smelter, so we don't have to deal with this primitive blast furnace anymore, which sucks up all of our coal, which is not very good. And then later we can also get a battery buffer and some other things which will come in handy, so we can make our materials way cheaper. So to do this we need some electric motors, and here 4 LV motors. Now we still will be needing quite some parts, so let's get to doing that. There we go, our basic wire mill. Now let's get this set up. And there we go, we have power generation. As you can see, it is not extremely good, but well, it works. I think our best bet right now is making this alloy smelter, so we don't have to deal with getting tons of coal through there, so we can use graphite instead to get our carbon. Let's see, what do we need for that? There we go. We have got ourselves an LV alloy smelter, and let's pick this one up so we can get some there. Alright, now we need conductive iron wire. We can craft that into these, and then now Gregtech has a really cool way of dealing with wires. It takes a time to get used to, but you can like do this, and you can just cut wires and do this and that. It's a very good way of handling it, in my opinion at least. I think what could be handy as well is getting a glider sometime soon. It's temporary because we will get glitch armor, so we can have creative flight. But I think it's a good idea to get this. We can also get use leather for a satchel as well, which is handy. Very good. Now we have a basic satchel, so we can have a little extra inventory space, which will come in handy greatly when we go mining, for example. There we have it, our glider. So now we can just fly rather than walk if we ever need some more cows, which and there we go. Our vending machine. Alright, so now we got our vending machine, and I think, oh yes, we should get a programmed circuit from the quest so we can actually input what type of recipe we want. So there we go. With this we can make a lot of useful things, like foil, plates, springs apparently as well, and I think you can also make stuff like fluid cells, and I hope I can find it. Well, I'm probably not going to find it. Anyways, you can make a lot of useful things with this, including plates, foils, springs, and a lot of other things for a lot cheaper than you would with the default tools. So yeah, this is essential. Right, so let us do a quick recap of what we have done this episode. We have set up a little farm, so we have basic food supply. We have built a blast furnace, so we have a steady supply of steel. We have acquired a basic means of generating power using the steam dynamo and some sugarcane. We have set up 3 of the most essential LV machines. With that, we have also made the primitive blast furnace obsolete. We have set up some temporary crafting infrastructure. And finally, we have also gotten ourselves some basic tree plantage, so we can acquire some wood and rubber. Alright, so after this episode, I think what we should do is probably aim for the assembling machine, so we can make a lot of components for a lot cheaper. And further, we will also probably try to get the blast furnace, so we can get some aluminum production going right here. This we will need to progress further to unlock the circuit assembler, and also to unlock the MV tier of electricity. And if I somehow have access to time, we might be able to get a little bit of these, probably not everything, if we manage to get some MV machinery. But that is it for this episode. I hope you liked it. I have edited most of this video by now, so probably by next episode I will be recording my video a little bit different, because a lot of my recording style was not very easy to edit. It took a long time, which is not very good. I will probably also change my sound a little bit, so I will probably do a voiceover rather than a live commentary, because I think that will be a lot easier to edit, as well as it would be a lot easier to balance sounds like this piston, for example, which is probably very annoying since my audio is not very balanced right now. That is it for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.